Hey guys, Khalid from Cricket Fanatics Magazine here with another episode of the Lockdown series. This time, fan favorite and one of my personal favorites, Raynard van Tonder. So, Raynard, welcome to the platform. We've been trying to get you on for weeks, eh?
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's been a struggle. Finally got some signal since I'm off the farm. Yeah,
Yeah. How was your time on the farm? What was it like?
yeah, I really enjoyed it. It actually gave me a lot of time just to spend on my own and think about the past season. We
Mm,
we were hunting quite a lot, which I really enjoyed. Um,
awesome.
Also, just gave me time to reflect on the past season, think about the things I think I've done well and things I want to improve on this upcoming
Yeah.
season or in this off season. So the farm was really good. My girlfriend's parents treated me really well there, so I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. That's awesome. I'm obviously the first part of the show is kind of talking to you about lockdown and what you've been up to with regards to lockdown. Um, with regards to keeping fit, obviously with you being on a farm, you have a lot more space. And also with regards to cricket skills, how have you been keeping your cricket skills sharp, and what have you been doing for fitness, and what sort of things did you get from the Knights, for example, giving you guys tips, etc., on how to stay fit, etc.
Fitness wise, yeah, it was nice having some space to run, etc. I was fortunate just before the lockdown, I came home so I could get some gym equipment to take with to the farm, so I could train with that. Regarding fitness wise, from the night side, they kept giving us programs to do, and we had to log it in on Training Peak so that they could just check on us to make sure we're doing everything we could. Batting wise, I haven't really done anything. I didn't have a bat or anything on the farm, so we actually took a piece of wood that we cut, and we only had one tennis ball as well. So after the first, we went. My girlfriend threw me a few balls, but I lost the ball the first time we went to practice, so that didn't work out. So I haven't really done anything with that. I've been doing some eye gym, just trying to improve my eyes, just keep my eyes alive and my focus, because I think eye gym it will help a lot with the batting coming up. Yeah.
Give me some insight into that. What sort of techniques do you do for that? I've never heard of that before, actually.
The eye gym is actually it's like an app. You can down you do it on your laptop. It's basically just I don't know how to explain it, but it's very focused on your reactions and just your eye speed. So, for example, they will every now and then something will pop onto the screen, and you have to press spacebar as quick as possible, just to
Hmm.
keep improving your reactions. And it's four different drills that are very similar, but I think it's gonna. I've seen a lot of professional athletes do it, so that's how I found out about it. So now I'm trying it. I've been busy with it for a month now. So hopefully I can see some reward out of it, get some reward out of it.
Yeah, because that's quite a different way of thinking about it. I've never heard of that before, actually. That's awesome. That's awesome insight for especially youngsters that are trying to keep stay fit. You see, from my opinion about you and over the years talking to you and having conversation with you and seeing you play, etc., I've noticed one particular part of you that makes you stand out, and that's your mental side of the game and how mentally strong you are. A lot of coaches and stuff that I've spoken to have said that during this period, because it's off season, they kind of give guys time off. So from a cricketing point of view, it's the time for you to work on your mental strength, etc. With regards to that, what have you been doing with regards to your mental strength and keeping sharp, etc., and thinking about your game the last few seasons?
Yeah, I've actually I spoke to our psychologist I think 2 weeks ago. Just asking him about books I can read about the mental side of the game, because it is actually something I really want to improve this upcoming season. I think we're very fortunate at the Knights now. We got a new member to our team, Ruan, who's a mental coach. So I'm really
Mm,
looking forward to working with him, because the mental side of the game, I believe, is very important, especially if you want to play international cricket, etc. Because I think as a professional sportsman, there's a lot of external pressures, and I think from yourself to reach your goals, you also put a lot of pressure on yourself. So
yeah.
I think it's just about channeling your mind, and I'm still figuring it out. Hopefully, I can still get better at it, because I think sometimes I still think too much. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's something I'm actually still trying to figure out and work on. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's get into my favorite part about this is me getting to know your journey a little bit better, and I think the fans also enjoy that a lot. Um, it's a Cricket Fanatics channel. I see you quite active on the pages, liking things, sharing things. So thanks a lot for all the support that you give us. But I want to talk to you about you as a fan first, because obviously you are lucky enough to be a professional cricketer, being in love with the sport, and then having to do it as a profession. It's something that everybody dreams of doing. Basically, is working and in their passions and working, having a job that aligns with their passions. That's the word that I was looking for. So, with regards to you, was there a particular match or a particular player that maybe stood out to you when you were younger that drew you to cricket, or how? What was your journey into thinking about your first interaction with cricket?
I think my dad played a big part in it. Because I think even before I started watching cricket, I remember my dad bought me a bat because he loves cricket. So he bought me a bat, and it was still too. I think I was 4 years old. Bat was too long and too heavy, so he basically cut it in half, and he started throwing towards me. So since then, I just loved batting. I just loved hitting the ball. So I think that played a huge part in everything. And then growing up, someone I really looked up to is AB de Villiers. Um,
Mm.
he's still one of my favorite players, and yeah, that's something that motivates me. I want to be, when say similar to him, I want to be my own type of player, but yeah, he motivates me the way he plays.
And when did it all start for you with regards to hardball cricket? Primary school. Talk to me a little bit about your primary school and then leading into your high school, because I think high school is possibly where majority of people's careers take off, and you particularly being a part of the S under 19 teams, etc. It would have been quite tricky for you to balance your life and school life and traveling, going to World Cups, etc. So give me a little bit of that journey, starting with your primary school and playing red ball cricket for the first time.
Yeah, I went to Harry Smith Primary School. That's where I grew up. So I played cricket there. I played all the sports I could play. But then I think in grade four was the first time I actually started realizing I like cricket a lot more than the other sports. And I remember um, the school had a bowling machine. So I would always, over weekends, we would borrow the bowling machine so that I could train over the weekend. So my dad worked until Saturday, say 1 o'clock. And then if he's finished eating, I'm ready. I'm padded up, ready so he can come feed me on the bowling machine. We had a tennis court, luckily, so I could bat there. So primary schools, I used to train a lot on my own and stuff. We also had during holidays, we would also get the bowling machine, and we had a gardener. I remember his nickname is Makantini. So when my dad was working, I would always get him, and I would just imagine it's Mackay bowling, and he would feed me on the bowling machine. So I remember that really well. And then going to high school, I went to Great College Bloemfontein. So I played under 14A for the first part of the first year. Then end of grade 8, I got selected for the first team. So I made my debut against Affis. It's not a debut to remember. I remember one of my good friends also made his debut, Jan Victor, and he batted 7. I think I batted 8. And he went out, he batted, I think he faced 7 balls and he scored naught. And I went, I'm next and I'm walking on and I'm super nervous. And I'm thinking it can't go worse than on my first game than it did with him. And asked for middle. And first ball, I tried to run it down to third man, inside edge onto the stumps. So I got a first baller on my debut for Grey. So yeah, then grade 9, grade 10, I played for Free State. And I think grade 11 was the first year I played Coke Week. And I got selected for the SA Schools team. Then Matric, same thing, Coke Week. I think middle Matric was the first time I got selected for the S under 19, which was massive to me.
Yeah.
Since I went to school, it was basically a dream. I looked up to those guys playing there. So that was massive. And then played SA Schools end of the year. I think we had about 5 tours with the S under 19 team against England, West Indies, Sri Lanka twice, and Zimbabwe. And then they picked the World Cup team. I was fortunate to be picked in that team. So then we went to the World Cup in 2018. As a team, we didn't have a great World Cup. I think we finished fifth. I think with the players we had at that World Cup, we could have done much better. But I was fortunate enough. I had, as an individual, I had a decent World Cup. I got picked for the World 11 team there, which gave me a lot of confidence coming back to South Africa, playing in first-class cricket, one-day cricket, maybe franchise cricket, gave me a lot of confidence to come back here. I think that also helped me to get a contract with the Knights. So that was my first year. I got a 2-year contract with the Knights. I played the first year. I didn't really get game time. I think I played maybe 4 games, and then luckily now the last year, which was this season now, they gave me a good go where I played most of the games.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's basically my journey.
Yeah, I'll go into a little bit more detail about that journey. With regards to the World Cup, and the one I think it was in New Zealand, 2018. You were one of the top scorers in that tournament, and you were also captain. I remember watching all the games on TV. So I just wanted to see you bat. So there's a particular like, I don't know if it's a rumor exactly, but was there a period in that tournament where you got injured and almost couldn't play in the game?
Oh yeah, what happened before the World Cup? I think we played the West Indies, and I broke my finger in the last one-day game. So then my finger was fine again going to the World Cup, and the first training session at the World Cup, I think it was say 2 days before the first warm-up game, and then we would have started playing after. I broke my finger again.
Sure.
So that was terrible. I remember going to the doctor, just hoping it's not broken, that I can still play, because I've been looking forward to this for so long. Yeah. And then he said, no, it's broken. But in a way, it was broken so badly that if I play with it, it couldn't really get any worse. So the doctor said, if I want to play, because I said I want to play, isn't there any way can't we do anything? And he said, you can play, but you're probably not going to use your finger again afterwards. So yeah, we just we taped it and we strapped it. I drank pain pills and stuff, and yeah, I played all the games. I missed the warm-up game, but after that I was fine. I could play all the games. So yeah, but now I can't really use my finger.
That is incredible story. Wow. So that resilience in you, that mental toughness, that you have is what stands out from my perspective, with regards to your personality, etc. So Raynard, I mean, you scored quite a few centuries over there. Was there anyone that was important or that stood out to you the most? Something that what was the key aspects that you took away from that, or the key goals or lessons that you took out of that tournament particularly? Because there were a lot of talented players in that side.
I think it's just the experience of being in such a big event, knowing maybe if I can play international cricket in the future. I don't know what the word is, but also playing against other countries, against some of the top players of other countries, players you see them play. A lot of them have played IPL, etc. And you've actually played against them, and you can actually see yourself competing against them or almost be better than them. And now you're watching play IPL, so that gave me a lot of confidence playing against those guys and actually doing well, scoring runs. The 100 was against Kenya, the first game, but it's still to get off to a good start and stuff. And the other 100 I scored was against New Zealand, which I really enjoyed. I think I was quite a good innings, and it meant a lot to me. And then winning that game. So I think the World Cup, the experience was unbelievable. We had so much fun off the field as well, me and Matt, and we were such a close team. So I'm still disappointed we didn't do better, because I think we were a really good team. But unfortunately, we can't change that. But World Cup was unbelievable. It's really nice.
Awesome. Okay, so now we're gonna go into your. Uh, uh, I don't know if it was quite. You had to go down to obviously to play free state. So for there's some guys that obviously make that rise from under 19 quickly into franchise. Some guys get lucky and have that opportunities. You had to play for Free State first, earn your stripes over there. I think you scored a 250 for Free State. I think if I remember correctly,
Yeah.
as well, which was a massive. I remember writing a report on that, and I was just like, "Yes, go Raynard." But you obviously had to play semi-pro first, get your experience there, and then with the Knights. Is it my understanding, if I'm correct, do you prefer to bat in the number 3 position, or is that your preferred position? Because I know that the Knights played you as an opener, and
Mm.
you played phenomenally there. I mean, top scorer last season, over 843 runs, I think it was for your season. I think if the season continued, you would have gotten close to 1,000, in my opinion. But I mean, and I think that would have probably been what you were aiming for.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a funny story with opening the batting. Because I never really opened the batting.
Mm.
The first time I opened the batting, what I can remember is there was a warm-up game against the Sri Lankan team, which just before they played the Proteas,
Mm.
and um, with Coach Shukri, they picked a team to play in that warm-up game, and he said, "I'm opening the batting against them," and that was the first time opening the batting, and it went quite
Yeah.
well in that game. So after that, I didn't really mind to open the batting. I actually enjoyed it, especially in white ball cricket with the field being up. Hit the gaps, you can hit a lot of boundaries in the power play. So I didn't really mind, but overall, I prefer to bat in white ball cricket. I'll probably prefer to bat number 3. Red ball cricket also 3, 4. But at the moment,
Mm.
it's not such a big deal. I think, especially now with the red ball cricket, opening the batting, I believe that's probably the toughest position to bat in South Africa, especially in red ball cricket, with the wickets we have here. So I actually saw that as a nice challenge for me as a young cricketer to improve or to grow as a batsman. Because I have batted in the middle order quite a bit. So now to go test my skill against the new ball moving around, I think that was a great challenge and I really enjoyed it. So I don't really mind at the moment, but because it's tough, I can't really choose where you want to bat. You just want to play,
Yeah.
especially franchise cricket. So, but for me, I'll probably prefer to bat number 3, red ball cricket.
Incredible. It's an incredible story because I mean, opening the batting is the hardest thing in South Africa. So a lot of people would say that you go in first full franchise series and you score 843 runs. I mean, or 800 odd runs. It's incredible, that story. So what are your main lessons that you pick up before we get into the comment section, guys? Because I'm gonna make this primarily about the comments. So you guys can just get your comments in. I'm gonna ask them very soon. But I just want to ask Ryan one more question. Um, how's it been for you, the step up, playing franchise cricket in South Africa now? Um, I know that there was you had to obviously up your game a little bit with regards to playing spin, because I mean the spinners in this year's tournament were the guys that were topping the charts in the wicket study this season. A lot of the spinners were dominating. I think Luta Supamla was the highest wicket taker that was a
Yeah.
seamer. Yeah. So, what was it like playing those different types of conditions, playing franchise cricket, that step up from obviously semi-pro to franchise?
I really enjoyed the franchise cricket. I think something that was different was the competitiveness between franchises is definitely different to what I experienced on with the semi-pro team. Also, one thing that I found quite challenging, especially into the white ball stuff in the Momentum One Day Cup, was the traveling. Spend a lot of time traveling, something you're not used to. You travel and you play in 2 days' time. You play again, and then it's actually something that I want to work on this upcoming season. One of my big things I'm going to focus on is playing spin, because I think that's massive, especially even in South Africa now. The wickets are turning a lot more, and if you go to the subcontinent, the Proteas or South Africa in the past hasn't done that well. So I want to just keep improving on that. I want to be one of the best players of spin in the country, because I think that's very important. Especially playing against other countries, playing against top spinners, it's not that easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we know in South Africa the longer format of the game, youngsters coming out to school, they're not getting exposed to the longer format as much as it used to be back in the day. And I know I'm only talking about 4-day cricket, but you're a brilliant white ball cricketer as well. You have good white ball cricket stats as well. So with regards to you and giving tips to the youngsters on how to make that shift, because obviously playing franchise cricket, you're going to play red ball cricket. When you play franchise cricket, etc., what sort of tips can you give those youngsters into how to approach the longer format of the game?
For me, it's a lot about the training. I think you've got to train it. You've got to train to bat for long hours, because that's what you got to do in red ball cricket. You have to focus for long periods of time. It's not always about just scoring runs, but it's about getting through the tough times, even if you don't score a run. So I think that's something. The way I've trained it is to bat for long hours and just keep your focus for a really long time. Being able to watch the ball as closely as possible without thinking too much. For long periods of time. So I think my tip would be just, you can actually train it. You can bat in the nets, get someone to throw to you. Maybe you need 5 guys, different guys, so they can take a rest. But so that they can throw a few for long hours, and you can train to focus for that amount of time. Because I don't think, or for me, if I just bat 20 minutes in the nets, I can't see myself batting for 5 hours out in the middle where you still have to run between the wickets, etc.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to ask you one more because obviously we all want to know, you faced some quick bowlers in your time, but we would really want to know about Gerald this year.
Yes.
What was it? What is it like to play with him, and how quick is he actually?
In the nets, he's really quick. Especially with Alan Donald now. The first net session we had with Alan there, it was Marco Jansen bowling. He also bowled quick.
Yeah.
And Gerald. So it was frightening in the nets. It was dangerous. It was bouncers coming every second ball. But I think Gerald is an unbelievable talent. I really enjoy playing with him because he's got that fight. And whenever you feel like you need something from someone, you need to spark something, he is the guy. Because I was captain of the under-19 team when he played with me as well. And every time I needed something from someone, I'll throw the ball to him, because I just think he brings that X factor. He's a wicket taker and he's a fighter. He can run in all day and he'll just give 120% consistently. So I think he's a special talent, and I think he's going to have a proper future.
And I mean, there's a lot of youngsters around that are very talented. There's one that I want to speak to you about. That is kind of I feel like a loss to South African cricket in a way. When he told me that he's going to study instead of playing cricket now, Herman Rolfs. Yeah, so it was quite a loss, because I mean he's quite a star. Tell me about him, and when he told you, did he tell you that he's going to go study?
Yeah, he actually, at the World Cup, he still said it. I think it was still me and Matt in the room, and I didn't believe him, because I think it was just after he scored 100. I think it was against the West Indies or New Zealand. I'm not sure against who, but he just scored 100, and he was probably one of our best bowlers. He started opening the bowling mid-tournament, and he did so well. So actually, I thought he was going to be a really good all-rounder. I thought he was going to play professional cricket for a long time. But yeah, that surprised me completely. I know he's a very smart guy, so I don't know. He just said he didn't really enjoy it that much, and so I don't know.
Yeah, very, very talented guy. Also very smart. Had a lot of great conversations with him about cricket and also off the field. Okay, so Raynard, we're gonna go into your comments, because there are loads. So we're gonna start with one from Prasad. He says, "Hey, Raynard van Tonder, I haven't seen a guy in under-19 with such huge biceps and cuts in your muscles. How did you manage at such a young age?"
Thanks. No, I played rugby as well, so I did the rugby programs as well. So I think it must have come with the gymming when I still played rugby.
Cool, that's an awesome answer. Okay, so one from Ravi, he says, "Hey, Raynard, when do you aspire to become a pro? Is there a goal or year or date you have in mind?"
No, I won't say I have a date or a year in mind at all. For me, it's just about focusing on the process at the moment. I wanna keep improving, keep getting better at my skills, and then I believe when I'm good enough and when the time is right, I'll get picked hopefully, and then I'll start playing. But I don't have a year. I don't have a goal in which year I want to make it. I just want to become better, because if I play there, I want to be good enough and I want to perform and dominate on that level as well.
Yeah, amazing. Let me see another one over here. They're getting a lot of great comments. I don't know if you can see the comments on your side.
Yeah, I can see if they only if they come up.
Okay, cool. So there's one for you that says, "What a fantastic start to your first class career. Appreciate that. Best of luck for next season." One from Sadiq, one of the most mentally strong younger batsmen. We've got another one here from Ravi. When you scored your double 100, obviously this is he's talking about last season, I think. Double 100. Did the thought of one day breaking Brian Lauder's record of 500 one day?
No, it never went through my mind. It was just about getting the next 10 runs. I tried to not think that far ahead. I didn't even think about scoring 200. I was just focused on 10 runs at a time. So no, it never went through my mind.
Okay, so let's talk about. Okay, you spoke about AB de Villiers. Have you ever met AB, by the way? I never asked you that question.
No, I haven't.
No, okay. So AB, if you're listening, please have a chat to Raynard, one of our future stars. But you spoke about AB. What was it about AB that really stood out to you?
I don't know. It's just, as a youngster, he just caught my eye. The way he was fielding as well. He was an unbelievable fielder. Or he's still an unbelievable fielder. The way he batted, and he was still a youngster as well. So it was someone I could follow from the start of his career, basically. And then he just played some unbelievable innings. So it's just the way he bats. It's a tough one. It just motivates me. If I think of a batsman, if I want to go train and I think of a batsman when I'm batting there, I'm thinking about AB. I'm just thinking how he would do it, etc. So it's someone I look up to very much.
Cool. Before I'm going to go into your goals of the future, I'll ask that as your last question, maybe. But let's talk about some international players. So, for example, Kohli or Smith for all formats. Who do you prefer?
Kohli, definitely.
What is it about Kohli for you that really stands out to you?
I don't know, it's just his energy, his drive, and batting wise. If I think of red ball cricket, I'll probably lean towards Smith a bit. But white ball cricket is Kohli's stats just says it. He's got over 40 hundreds in one-day cricket, which is unbelievable. So he's just so good, and he's so consistent. He's been doing it for so long across all formats. I don't think he averages above 50 now in all three formats anymore. I think one is 49 or something. But it's just unbelievable to be able to do in all three formats, and that's also something I look up to. And what I want to achieve as well is I don't only want to play one format or do well in one format. I want to be a very good batsman in all three formats. Yeah, that's definitely why I go to Smith. Kohli. Smith is also very good, but I think for me, Kohli is better.
Okay, awesome. Some of these guys, obviously, they missed when you spoke about it, but do you see yourself as an opener, or you think you can bat at any number? Basically asking this as an opener for Proteas are almost fixed by now.
No, I see myself, I can bat. I prefer batting in the top four. I feel, or I believe I can bat anywhere in the top four. I'd prefer not to go any lower because I like scoring. I want to score big hundreds, and I don't want to run out of partners, which sometimes happens. But I see myself as batting in the top four wherever I can get opportunity. I think if you get opportunity to play for your country or to represent your country, you don't want to ask questions or tell people where you want to bat. I think you just want to play and do well for your country.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, the next one is your favorite cricketing shot.
Must be a cover drive. Definitely.
Yeah, I thought so too. So, Bernard Rasmus has a great question. I know that you had a fantastic 4-day domestic competition. What are the main things you are focusing on to improve the limited overs aspect of your game? A big adjustment moving down the order?
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't have a great white ball season, but I do believe I'm I'm much better than what I performed in those 4 or 5 games, because all my success I've had is basically in white ball cricket before the season. So adjusting, moving down the order, not really, because I've growing up, I always batted 3 or 4 for the S under 19 team. I used to bat 4, so it's not such a big adjustment. It's just you're going to face a bit more spin maybe in the middle overs, so you have to have plans and adapt to conditions playing against the spin. Yeah.
Cool. So this is one of my favorite parts um, of the show.
Tough.
Today I'm going to bring on some help. So, I know you saw me busy on my phone over there. Trying to get some guys on the phone, but okay, he's going to try to reconnect again. Yeah, over here. Come on, Marco.
Yeah.
Make it work. How's it, brother?
Solid, guys.
Did you bring your partner, your crime with you?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Plunky.
Let's see it, Joe.
Ja, dis nou wat maak in jou kar.
Ja, ek kom by die gym af, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, Mark, we had some good times at the academy, being my roommate.
Yeah. Oh, was he your roommate?
Yeah.
Sorry, say again?
Oh no, he said that you were his roommate.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
maybe let's. So what stood out to you about being a roommate with Raynard van Tonder? What was things that stood out to you or that you took away?
To be honest, he's quite a chilled guy in the room. He normally after practice or whatever we did normally, then he would just go and lie on the bed and just chill. And that I found that actually quite relaxing actually, and I took that away and I enjoyed it because most of the time before the roommates I had before with Raynard, they usually go to the room and then they wanted to go do something else instead of just actually appreciating our off time, if I could say it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the things I took away. So yeah.
Yeah, well, with the last time we spoke to you and your brother, you said that you were a more chilled guy. So maybe that's why you enjoyed that type of interaction.
Yeah.
Is your brother with you?
Yes, he is actually. But he said he doesn't want to be added. So yeah.
I was gonna ask both of you, but I don't know how I was gonna look if I add both of you on the screen. Does he want to come on?
No, he's driving.
He's shy now. He's shy now. The extrovert is shy. Look here, Marco. Is there anything you want to ask Raynard? I want to actually know what you've learned from him because I mean, obviously, being his teammate, etc. He's quite a I wouldn't say intense character. It's a very unique character. The way he thinks, the way he plays the game, etc. What have you learned from him?
To be honest, I learned actually a lot batting wise because normally everyone didn't want to actually throw balls to Raynard because they knew if they threw balls to him, they're going to be there for like 2-3 hours after practice. And then I just thought, nah, if I want to be a bit better, and I actually wanted to be a bit or get a bit better with my batting, so I said no, I'll throw balls, and I learned a lot batting wise, like technical wise, and all those kind of stuff. And I enjoyed actually our time when we like after practice, he would always come to me and ask me, "Listen here, Blanky, don't you want to throw a few balls?" And then he would throw a few to me as well. And then yeah, so that's definitely one of the things I enjoyed the most, and I will miss definitely as well. So that's I'm actually grateful for being one of his underarm buddies, if I can say like that.
Is there one particular quality that for you stands out for him, that describes him as a player?
He's actually, I know he looks calm as well. He looks calm on the field, and that's one of the things I admire the most when I play with him, because in he looks calm and everything, but in his head he thinks a lot, and not much people actually see that when he's on the field. And like at the academy, always when I was bowling, he would come to me and ask me what's the plan, whatever, and then he would give a suggestion and stuff like that. And I learned in that aspect of the game, I learned a lot from him as well, because I would just go through the motions, and then after, let's say, I've been hit before, then I would think of something like putting a deep spin out or whatever. Where Raynard, even before the over, he would come to me and say or suggest, why don't you do this or do that? He thinks that this batter's going to do that or this, and yeah, I've I've admired that, and I've learned a lot from him in that aspect.
Yeah. So Rainer, for you, for your perspective, losing now Marco. Okay, you're gonna still have Dwan. So he's still gonna be in your side and stuff like that. Both of them. What influence have they had in your career, and how sad are you to see him go? And obviously, how excited are you to see to be playing with Dwan now?
First, I want to say Marco was probably my favorite throwing buddy because he takes about 20 balls and he's finished. So I can bet for a long time, and he just wants 20 balls and he's done. So I enjoyed that a lot. But yeah, obviously seeing Marco go is quite sad. He didn't play a lot of cricket the last part of the season, which is quite sad because I don't think people have seen the amount of potential he actually has. I think he's a really good cricketer. Playing with him at the academy, he was unbelievable. I kept telling him he must keep working on his batting because he's not just a bowler. I think he can really bat. He can almost play as an all-rounder. He's just a bit tall, so he doesn't look like a batter, but he can really bat. So yeah, obviously very sad to see him go. I'm excited to bat against him. So I know a lot about him. And then with Duan coming in, it's exciting because I don't know Duan as well as Marco, but I've seen him bowl and I've seen him score runs as well. So I think he's a great new member to our squad for the Knights. Especially we've got quite a young team, and I think we can build with a lot of the young players we've got now. And I think with him coming in the next 3 or 4 years, the Knights can really do well with the youngsters gaining some experience and becoming one of the teams that dominate franchise cricket in South Africa.
So Marco, before you leave, I know you are busy on your run quickly. Just before you leave, share one funny story with us about Raynard that you've experienced.
There's quite a few, but yeah, I don't know if I can name all of them.
Not all of them, just
But
one
I
of
know
them.
there's this one instance where he actually took a video of me at the academy where I was climbing, because when you walk into the room, it's the first bed, and then in between the two beds, there's like a wall. And this one night, I don't know what we were doing or whatever. He just the next day he sent me a video of me climbing the wall in between the beds. So I don't know if he can remember what happened there, but yeah, I just saw the next day he just sent me a video and we just started laughing for no reason.
What happened there, Raynard?
That's quite a deep story, but it's quite funny. It's a bit of like a giraffe climbing a wall, with him being that tall, and he just does silly things without really knowing he's doing it. So I just took a video, and when you actually look at it, it's quite funny.
Okay, Marco, thank you a lot for coming on and creating some laughter on the show for us. I'll chat to you again soon. Maybe we can do a combined thing with you, your brother, and Raynard, and we can do a few combined videos in the future. But thanks a lot for
Yeah,
coming
no
on, and
problem.
I'll speak to you again soon.
No, thank you very much, guys. Cheers, Ray.
Cool, man.
Lucky.
Yeah, so Raynard, I just want to, bring some of your friends, get to know you a little better. Let's get back into the comments.
Yeah.
Ooh, Here's another awesome one. It says, tell me in which year you think you're going to make international cricket. I'm waiting for the day.
Yeah.
There are a few people who think you have a lot of similarities to Faf. Do you think there's most similar? Who is most similar to you? Who do you think is most similar to you? Yo, watch that one.
So yeah,
So there are a few people who think you have similarities to Faf. Who do you think is most similar to you?
it's quite a tough question. If I have to look at international players, I don't really know any of them personally, or I haven't really spent time with them. So it's a tough question. I have no idea. Can't really answer that one.
Cool, awesome. I'm a batsman for Free State. I say under 17. I got questions. At which point of delivery do you decide which shot to play? And secondly, how to pick length quickly? Please reply, Raynard. Thanks.
I think that's a lot about training. Because in training you create that muscle memory of which shots to play. So it's basically in your, while training, what you're working on. So then your brain sort of starts to learn which balls, which shot to play at. So stuff when in the game, I just try to watch the ball as close as possible, because I believe that muscle memory you've built up during practice is going to kick in if you really focus on the ball during the match. And to pick up length quickly, I think that's also something you can train. You can go in the bowling machine and face it quite quickly, so your eyes can get used to facing faster bowling than what you used to. So if a guy's running up and he's bowling at you, it feels a lot slower, and you feel like you've got that extra split second to pick up the length. But I think what's really important in picking up length is your head has to be as still as possible, because if your head's moving, you won't be able to pick up the length. So you just keep your head as still as possible. And yeah.
Cool. Awesome. So Dan, if you're in the comments and you're watching this, now you know me and you need to go to the batting nets and go listen to those tips and go going into the bowling machine, and we're going to bat like Raynard van Tonder. MSL is obviously a big thing. What do you think you can improve on to improve your chances for MSL?
That's a difficult one, because we spoke about it a lot last season. It's tough having no other T20 tournament except the MSL. So it's quite tough to prove yourself and to get selected. And we don't have a franchise in it as well, so we don't really have coaches that know us. So it's a tough one. At least there's still the Africa Cup, but it's called something else now. I think it's the T20 Championship, where the provinces play. So that's the only place where you could actually play some T20 cricket, hopefully put in some good performances, and then get picked up in the draft by one of the teams.
Cool. Let's go to how do you prepare for a game? Do you do a net on game day? So this comes from Aidan Markram's episode where he spoke about what he likes to do now, something new, where he says he likes to have a net on the day before a game. So what do you do before a game?
Before a game, I've got my drills planned. So I try and keep it the same before every game. So I'll do some underarm drills, just underarms, hitting some on drives and some short balls, pulling, cutting, just going through all the shots basically, maybe hitting 5 or 6 balls on every shot. And then there's a drill I'll do just to get my eyes activated, where they drop the balls and I have to catch with the opposite hand. And then that's about it. Then I'm ready to bat. Except for in Red Bull cricket, I like to have a net if I bat it overnight. So if I have to go bat again the next morning, so we have a longer time to prepare, I like to have a net just to get the reflexes going, maybe face some sidearm or some bowlers for 10 minutes, just to get my eyes going and be nice and sharp when I go to the middle.
Yeah, after I wanted to ask you about what is exactly is it called, that long stick with the thing at the end, the throw down sidearms with you, etc.
Say again, sorry, I couldn't. It broke up.
Sorry, yeah, I wanted to know that long stick that they have, where they put the ball in at the end and they throw it down at you. Coaches normally do that. What is that called?
If I'm correct, it's a sidearm. I'm
The
not sure.
sidearm, is that what it's called? Okay, cool.
I think
So
I think that is what it's called.
a lot of batsmen dread that. Do you enjoy taking a few sidearms, etc., and from the coaches?
Yeah, I really enjoy it because with the sidearm they can throw a lot quicker as well, and they can throw for longer periods of time because the shoulder doesn't really get injured. But I enjoy it because they can come nice and close and throw quickly. Because I feel like sometimes you want to be uncomfortable in the nets and face some short balls where without a sidearm you're going to struggle, and the bowlers can't bowl all day, so that you can prepare for maybe playing on the Wanderers or somewhere where it's going to be quick and you've got to get out the way. So I think it helps a lot.
Cool, awesome. Your 4-day stats are obviously amazing. How do you manage to remain switched on for longer periods?
For me, it's about the training. It's about doing it in training consistently. It's about switching on every ball, watching the ball as closely as possible, and doing it for long periods of time in training, so that if you get to the game, you know you've trained it, you know you can bat for long periods of time. You've got the stamina, the fitness to do it. So yeah, and then I think the more consistent you do it in practice, the easier it becomes to do it in the games.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Another question, I think you answered it earlier on, but more difficult to face, pace or spin? Obviously, depends on the conditions.
Yeah, it definitely depends on conditions, and I think on the bowlers, because some days the bowlers, there's a spinner that bowls well or there's a seamer that bowls well. But I would say, I think if there's a really good seam bowler and the ball's going around doing a bit, I would go pace is a bit more difficult to face.
Cool. This is an interesting one because you're not talking about specifically in lockdown, but previous seasons. How did you spend your time in the off season?
I love fishing, so I always try to after the season, that first period or first month, I try and get away from the game and not do too much fitness wise. I would like to go spend some time with my family, go fishing, just relax. And then the previous 2 seasons after that, we had the National Academy. So from there, I went straight to the National Academy and we started training. I think it was about this time every year that we started at the National Academy. So that's how I kept myself busy. And then directly after the National Academy, you go into the franchise cricket stuff, training here for a while, and then the games start.
With regards to, I want to ask you as well, how much interaction have you had with Shukri Conrad? Because I know he's a big fan of yours as well, or not big fan, but he's always when I have chats with him, etc. He's mentioned a few guys that he sees around, etc. What have you had interactions with him?
Not lately, but being at the academy and playing those warm-up games, I've had some interaction with him, and I think he's a really good coach. I've really, really enjoyed him. I wasn't in the academy plan this year, but I also asked him if it's possible to go, because I think he's done an amazing job with the academy players going there. I think he's improved my cricket a lot, and the way I think about cricket. Yeah, and I like he's a very honest guy. So when he tells you something, he means it, and you can trust him in that way. So I've really enjoyed Shukri. Hope I can still work with him quite a bit, because I think he's got a very good brain on him, and you can learn a lot from him as a young player.
Cool, awesome. With regards to how much do you enjoy captaincy?
I enjoyed quite a lot. Like sometimes tough if you're not captain and you want to make decisions and want to change a field or you have plans, you can't always do it. And then maybe there's no slip and you want to slip in and they nick the ball and it goes through there. So I really enjoyed. I enjoy captaincy, taking that responsibility. I also feel like when I'm captain, the times I've been captain, I've actually batted better as well, because I take even more responsibility than what I used to. So captaincy is something I enjoy, and I'll probably take it on in the future when I get the opportunity.
Awesome. Okay, cool. You've answered that question. What's it like? Okay, cool. This one is awesome. What was it like playing with Matthew Brzezinski and Herman Rolfs?
Matty, we had a lot of fun times. I really enjoyed playing with him. was nice having him as opening batter. He scored a lot of runs for us. He's a special character. He's different, and he's a very honest guy, which I really like. So I enjoyed. I had some great times with him. We were still very close mates. We had some fun times at the World Cup. It was nice playing with him. Herman was also, I didn't spend as much time with him, but he's a very solid guy. He's a good friend of mine. He's one of those calm guys, especially on a cricket field. He's very calm. One of the guys that if you're going to, it's maybe 2 overs left and someone has to bowl that over, he's one of the guys you look to throw the ball, because he's just a very calm guy. Also had some great times with him.
Cool. Daniel wants to know, are there any grounds in South Africa where you would say it's definitely tougher to bat on compared to the rest?
I think Oudtshoorn was quite tough. The ball's been turning there. And then in Joburg as well. I only played there twice now. But playing on the slope there with the wicket being quite quick, facing some quick seam bowlers, I would say those two are probably two most extreme, going with seam and then with spin, Oudtshoorn with the ball turning there.
Cool. Difficult one. A lot of players can't answer it, but the most difficult bowler to face in domestic cricket.
I think, yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah,
I felt Keshav. Won't say difficult to stay in, but it was difficult to score against. He was just kept bowling at line and length. Keshav Maharaj now. He was very tough to bat against and to score against. So I would say he was probably the best bowler I've faced so far in my short career.
Cool. What do you think before hitting a ball in a game when you were the opening batsman? Like, what went through your head before that?
What do you think for hitting a ball? For me, it's just then I'm just focused on watching the ball. It's just literally from the start of the bowler's run up, where he starts running in, I'm just watching the ball as closely as possible. And then, as I said before, with the muscle memory, hopefully I'll make the right decisions, or I back myself to make the right decisions. So it's just about watching the ball as closely as possible.
Cool. Bevan wants to know, thank you for tuning in again, Bevan. Would you like to bowl more?
Yeah, I think I must first start working on my bowling. Then I'll start bowling more. But I've thought about it. I've been working. I always bowled some leg spin. I was actually thinking about working on my bowling, especially now that we have a lot of time, so I can maybe just add something to me, because I wanted to start keeping again, but because of my finger, I struggle a bit, because if I get the ball on my finger, I can break it very easily again.
Cool. This is a fun question. Who was the funniest or most annoying teammate in under 19 World Cup patch that you played?
Yes. It's probably how do you say Molefe? So I laughed at him. He was very funny. And then someone else is Tini as well.
Mm-hmm.
He made me laugh again. He's a lot. He's just very different. So now I like clicking or enjoying. I enjoy spending time with people that are just a bit different, or a lot different to what you're used to.
Cool. Let me just go further down, because obviously when Marco came on. Okay. Would you rather play 50 Test caps or 100 IPL caps?
I think it goes hand in hand. I don't think, because I definitely want to play Test cricket, but I think if I want to play IPL, I'll have to perform on the international stage first anyway. So I'll have to do well for South Africa in Tests and fix a spot there before I can play IPL. So my goal at the moment is definitely not playing IPL. For me, it's now playing for my country. It's getting better, playing for my country, doing well. And then what happens after that is out of my control.
Okay, cool. Let's go to the next one. Let me read them first. Because I don't want to ask stuff that I've already asked. Did you used to play cricket in the street with your friends? Any special rules and any very high scores that you had?
No, I didn't really play cricket in the streets. I was in the hostel, so couldn't really play in the streets. Otherwise, I would sit detention.
Currently, besides AB de Villiers, let's maybe throw it that way. Who is your favorite batsman and bowler currently?
Favorite batsman would be Kohli,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. Bowler, I know Dale Steyn isn't playing anymore, or not as much, but he's been one of my favorites growing up, definitely.
Cool. This has to be asked because I missed this one. I wanted to ask you about tour in Sri Lanka and with the emerging team. How was that as an experience? Obviously, turning wickets as well.
Yeah. With the emerging team, it's also unfortunate. It was really nice experience playing in that conditions, playing against some really good spinners. I think most of the players we played against has played international cricket before, so it was a great challenge. But unfortunately, I played the first test, which the ball didn't really turn. It was quite a good wicket. And the second one I played, I was on 60 odd, and they bowled me my finger, and I broke my other finger again. So, and I didn't play after that. So I didn't really gain a lot of experience out of that tour. It was just watching cricket.
Yeah, I've broken some fingers as well. I used to do judo, so I broke a few. People don't realize actually it's quite an awkward injury to have.
Yeah, it's
because
terrible. You use it so much.
yeah, and like you don't know what it's not as painful as other breaks that I've had. I think the most painful was probably my nose, and I think that was more because of the click back when they click it back into
Oh,
place.
yeah.
That's the hardest part about it. It's not necessarily the break itself.
Yeah.
So let's start with let's ask you over here. If you could, okay, this is a completely off course, but if you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Yes. To read people's minds.
Especially bowlers. Okay.
Yeah.
Afzal wants to know, hi Raynard, I read the other day that players will be able to return to training next week. How do you feel about that? And also the role Pite has played in your success. That's an awesome question.
Yeah, we had a meeting just before this chat again about the return to play. I'm really excited. I haven't batted since the last game, so I'm really excited to face some bowling or just hit the ball again. And then I think Pat is an unbelievable leader. He's a very natural leader, and he's helped me a lot. And it's been nice chatting to him because he's played with some very very good cricketers, and he's played with the Proteas now. Played in Mzansi alongside AB and those guys. So I've gained a lot of experience or learned a lot from Pat. Also, the way he leads a team and the type of leader he is, I've learned a lot about it. So yeah, and batting with him, I think we've had a record partnership as well. So I enjoy batting with him as well. Yeah, really enjoyed him.
Yeah, and to add to that, to another stalwart that has played for you now has moved on, Keegan Peterson. What have you learned from Keegan in the time that he's been there?
Keegan is probably my favorite guy to bat with. Keegan is someone I think we've spent so much time away from cricket together. I think we've got that bit of a deeper connection, and so I've really enjoyed him. He's quick between the wickets, so it's always fun to have someone who can run your signals. And he's got an unbelievable brain on him, especially batting wise. Playing against spin, he's probably, I would say, is in the team we have now is one of our best players against spin. He's just so quick and picks up length, and the plans he has, how to get a bowler to bowl where you want him to bowl, is something I learned a lot. The way he just told me about how he thinks about it, why he uses his feet, because he wants the bowler to bowl there, etc. So I've learned a lot about Keegan. It's quite sad that he's gone now because I've had some great times with him. I've enjoyed him in the change room. He's a very good guy in the change room. He brings a lot except for batting into a team. So I think we're going to miss him.
Cool. Thoughts on the potential of Jonathan Bird and Wandile Makwetu, having already played with both of them?
I haven't played with Jonathan Bird. I've only seen him play. I think he's a serious batter. I think he's got a good future ahead. Wandi is someone I know very well. I'm very happy for him. He's had a very good season with the Knights. I'm very glad he moved to the Knights because he didn't really get a lot of game time with the Titans. But I've played with him since under 19 with the SA team, and I've always seen him bat, but he never scored as much runs as I thought he could with the potential he has. And I think in this last season now, he's actually he's played as well as I always thought he can play. So I see a lot of big things for one year ahead. I hope he can continue with this. He's had some great form. I hope he can continue with that and wear that green and gold.
Awesome. And lastly, just off the field, you said you like to do fishing, but obviously now during the period being on the farm, have you gotten a chance to actually watch any Netflix series that you could recommend anybody, or anything else you've done that's fun off the field?
Yeah, I struggle to watch Netflix. There's one series I really enjoyed, was Tiger King. It's crazy. But apart from that, I tried to read a bit, but I can't. I struggle to watch TV. I struggle to play PlayStation. I must keep myself busy. So I was hunting a lot just to get outside because I like being outdoors. So unfortunately, I don't really have recommendations.
Cool, awesome. Lastly, Raynard, thanks a lot for coming onto the show. I just want you to give a message to the Cricket Fanatics fans out there that have been asking me for quite some time to get you on the show.
Yeah, I would like to say thank you for the support from you and from the community. I really appreciate it. Hopefully, I can keep putting in some good performances so you guys can keep seeing some good results, and all the best.
Okay, so thanks a lot, guys. Okay, Raynard, I'm going to put this on our website, obviously, and I'm send you the link afterwards so you can share it to your platform, etc. To the fans out there that have tuned in, thanks a lot for all the support. Please hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and like and share to your friends. We want to get a lot of more people on our YouTube channel, obviously, because we want to obviously have a place where you guys can speak to and share your dreams and obviously learn a lot about cricket. And that's our aim for this platform, and get you guys closer to the players like we have today. So please do all of those things. Don't forget to tune in to our Legends with Ravi on a Wednesday evening. So tomorrow evening, we're going to be talking about Stephen Cook. And obviously, don't forget to also tune in to our podcast we have on a Sunday evening where me and Daniel normally discuss and debate. And it was quite heated last week, but we'll see what we're going to do this week, where we debate about certain topics in cricket, etc. So thanks a lot for the support. Thank you a lot, Raynard, and I hope you stay safe and healthy. And to all the reviewers out there, stay safe and healthy during this period.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
No problem, brother.